you are selling to your own customers directly, but at the same time you are lying. But there is it's a big skill needed to make sure that you are, especially in looking at your pricing, that you are not also maybe find a way not to cannibalize too much, or so there is quite a few things to learn from business model innovation. Where you are saying don't also now wait until a particular business model kills your present business model, because your product that you are selling is great, right? But how you are selling it is really, really important. And if somebody else can sell it better than you, then you're in trouble. So there is a lot to think about, but I think we can do maybe a lot more offline, so that we can give other people a chance to ask questions.
Okay. Somebody is saying, can you throw more light on platform business model if I'm not a techie?
Yeah, so the platform business model is not necessarily, I need to make this clear that it is not like a technical thing. It's just that it's a different way of selling things. So for instance, platform business model is saying that they are not placing emphasis on ownership of assets. So remember that if you look at telcos have assets. So meaning they have all these cell sites, those towers all over. They have call sites. They have all sorts of assets. But WhatsApp does not have those things. And you can make calls on WhatsApp. So platform business models, they try to find a way not to put their effort on so much assets. And they will do almost the same thing that you are doing, sometimes even using your own resources. Because remember that if there is no telcos, there won't be any WhatsApp.
Okay.
Yeah. The same thing, if you think about a bank versus a fintech bank. So in South Africa now, even in Nigeria, there are some banks coming up now that are like platform businesses. So they don't have branches, they don't have all those things. It's going to take a long time before people will trust them. But what is interesting is that even the whole banks are now also moving towards that business model. If you think about it, Access Bank made a pronouncement was it 2 weeks ago, that they were going to maybe let go of 75% of their staff. It's going to happen, even though CBN said no now, but believe it's going to happen very soon, because very soon CBN is going to put a notice out that the regulation that mandated you to have branches all over the country, it's a useless regulation, because when you have a branch in Okitipupa that is not doing anything, and you are still paying rent and you are wasting money, when you could have actually have a very good digital platform that does the same thing properly. So it's going to happen. It's just that maybe not this year. So those are the kind of thinking that goes to platform business models, that you are thinking, okay, how do you use other people's assets and aggregate things for other people? So I'll give you another example. So my company has a platform that helps companies like telcos to get people, to sell their services. So for instance, a telco has it's like an ISP now. So let's say they are selling 20 gig of data, 100 gig of data for people to use in their houses, and they have routers and all that they sell. Now, the telco themselves could hire a lot of salespeople and say, go and sell those things for me. But what this platform I'm talking about does is that it helps the telcos to now recruit smaller businesses all over South Africa, for instance, to say, okay, we'll now be the ones selling the telco's products to other people. So what it means is that the telco has become a platform. It has now enabled smaller businesses to help them sell to other people without needing to hire more salespeople and all that. So those are the kind of things that come to play when we talk about platforms. They empower other people to sell, they empower other people to make money, and that's why even we can look at Grey Monday as a platform.
Okay, very good. So there's a question that I'm getting out some questions privately. If somebody wants to learn, I don't know what the full scope is, this agile project management, you mentioned a few things put together: agile project management, agile product management, agile project management. You have a business platform business model, and all those kind of things. Is there a course that brings them all together? Because it sounds like very interesting stuff. Something that a company should develop, either staff that have the capability or people who are doing business should ensure that they venture in and ensure that there's somebody who is thinking like that. Is there a course for this? How does that work?
Yeah, I think I actually mentioned that as I was rounding off my talk, that my company has actually put together a very interesting course. As I said, I've developed courses for quite a lot of universities and even for General Electric worldwide. So it's one of my specialties. So what we've done is to put together something that cut across all these things that we were talking about in an interesting way. And it's a practical course because, we discuss really practical things with the frameworks to use, which will also culminate eventually into what we call a capstone project. So a capstone project is one where you have to form a group of fellow learners, maybe 4 of you, and you will now do a project together. A practical one, you have a practical company to work for, and you develop quite a lot of things for them, from project management to agile project management to product management to business model innovation. Very practical, and it will help. So what it means that when you finish that course, you have like something to present and say, I've actually done all this, and you present it. So you are also testing how do you, because one of the skills that people need right now is actually how to present, how to make good presentations, not just but visually nice, but also the way you pass across the information. So those are the things that are being tested. And that's the only time you finish the course, when you finish that presentation. So it's a whole journey. And so we've designed it in a nice way. I think it's very nice. If anyone is interested, the course outline is available where you actually read it nicely and say, oh, I would like to do this. So it's available if anybody wants it. I think
I like to have the curriculum, the course content. Like, how much is the cost?
Okay, so yeah, as I said, this is a big deal, and when you see the course outline, I think it will be clear to you. Normally, if I'm going to do this, in a community that is not this Green Monday, I would say it's $1,000, but no, that is not going to happen here. I think we can actually do this for $500, and I think I will still leave it.
Okay.
To consider.
How long does it last for?
Yeah. So it's about 5 weeks. So it's Saturday and Sundays.
Okay.
So it's a few hours on Saturdays and Sundays, especially for people who are also working and busy with other things. Okay. So we are looking at about almost 16 hours of contact training lectures, but you also now need another almost maybe 12 to 14 hours of pre-reading. So you have things to read before you come in, and then you also have consider the time you spend doing research and putting together your final project. So it's a proper thing that will take you through both theory, practical. So it's quite a lot of work. Yeah.
Okay. I like to have the curriculum. It sounds like something I'll be personally interested in. And I think what we can do for the green community is beyond the discount that we can get a further discount. I will work something out. For everybody that's interested, you can hit me up and we can look at that together. Somebody's asking a question here and saying that what business model can one use in mining industry? I don't know if it responds to industry like that. I think it's more of what you want to achieve. But I don't know. Let me leave it.
No, there is yeah. So mining. I think if you think about mining, South Africa is a big mining country. Nigeria, I think, is still common when it comes to mining. But mining. What is interesting is that the business model that is big in Africa for mining is that you mine the thing, but you don't add value to it in Africa. The value is being added in Singapore, and that's where all the money is being made. And then, so, like people in UK, US, they're making all the money, and Africa just doesn't. So for me, the right business model that should be happening with mining, that's not what we're doing right now. because we are not adding value here in Africa. And so it's just like getting cocoa and selling it and then getting chocolate from other countries. So that's what is happening right now in Africa. But also from a business model perspective, because business model is beyond just the cost and the revenue, also how you do the business. So think about it. Right now in South Africa, there's a lot of problems with mining because of the fact that it's a very labor-intensive industry. So meaning you have miners coming to work in mines, and they're always striking because they think they're not being paid very well. There was an instance that got me worried a few years ago when they were on strike in South Africa, the miners. And, somebody, they were interviewing a miner on radio, and somebody asked him and said, well, are you not afraid that your kids are going to, die of hunger or something like that? And the guy said, no, we're not going to give up. Even if it means our wives and daughters will die, our children will die, it is fine. When we get our money, eventually we'll marry other wives and have other children. Wow. That was the day I gave up. And I said, this industry has to be disrupted from a business model perspective. And that is already happening now, where the business model is changing from human beings going to the mines to work and then using machines to actually do the mining. So that's another thing that will happen from a business model perspective in the mining world. It's already happening in many places all around the world. So meaning you are actually cutting off the human workers and bringing in machines. So that's a business model change also. So as I said, you can look at it from different angles. The digitalization of the industry, which is a business model change, but also from a value addition perspective, where you are saying, rather than only getting the raw gold and sending it to Singapore, to be added value to, why can't you also add value to it from Africa and get more money? So that's what we say from a mining perspective.
Okay, thank you very much. Someone is asking here, how can you create a working business model for SMEs?
Yeah, if you come for the course, I'm sure by the time you are done, you will be an expert in this. So let me just say this, that business plans are great, okay? But business plans don't really work again in the agile world. So what actually works now is the concept of business models and changing it very fast, showing, how it's a very agile process. So what the course will teach also, part of it is how to do proper business modeling and, what you need to look out for. So yes, it's straightforward, and I think, as I said, by the end of the course, you will also be able to get your own for a practical. You actually bring a practical solution to a business problem that will culminate in things like a new business model and those kind of things. So yes, it's a possibility and something that is important for people to know how to do.
So I can become a consultant after I've done this course?
Very well. I make a lot of money doing this thing. Sorry for saying that, but So it's actually an important skill. It's good to know how to do business plan, like I said, but I think in 2020 it's really, really important. To be able to do this.
Okay. But what about I think one of the key elements in the business model that chases people away is the financials. How does that work?
Yeah. So when it comes to the financial, so what I always tell people is that there are different levels. So one is that there's something we call market sizing. So market sizing is a very interesting thing, and it's part of product management too, where you look at your addressable markets and say, okay, this is what I'm trying to do. These are the people I'm trying to target. That is a very good exercise. Okay? It's very, very good exercise to do, rather than just some sort of out of the heart kind of how people do business plan. They just put some figures like to make it look good. Market sizing is a more scientific process where you have to put your assumptions nicely, and it's not so complex, and it's maybe more believable than just all these funny Excel sheets. Somebody said there is no fiction more interesting than an Excel sheet, business plan Excel sheet. It's fiction most times. So that's one aspect. Now, I'm not saying don't go and do your Excel modeling for the other things like your cost and those guys. It's good, do them. But first of all, even start from just your cost base, your business model, and your revenue base, and see if it makes sense, if you have the aggressive market and those kind of things. So that's what we normally tell people to do. And then if you are talking to some traditional people who wants to see some Excel model, yes, we'll tell you what to look out for, and you can, find time and do that. And we can also give you some templates if you want, but I think the most important thing is that the world has moved on. You see most companies today, they will tell you it's a simple calculation really with your assumptions, but those are the things that we talk about.
Okay. Somebody's asking a question here that can one in law or communication practice have a business model?
Absolutely. So let's look at law, for instance. There is a company in Nigeria called DIY Law. They are not your normal law firm. They are an online a law firm where you actually go to a website and and so it's a bit cheaper because then you are not going to meet somebody in the office and charging you per hour. They already have some templates for you and those kind of things. So that's a business model. The traditional business model is still there, where you have chambers with your office and people come to meet you and all those kind of things. They are different. So when it comes to business model, it's just about how am I providing this service? What partnership am I? For instance, if I'm a lawyer, I can come to Green Monday and say I'm a lawyer. My business model is that if Green Monday finds me 1,000 clients, I will give you 20% of the fee. That's a business model. So when it comes to business model, it's about being creative. It's about being flexible. It's about getting very good things out of partnerships, cutting costs, all those kind of things. So yes, there is no business that you shouldn't actually have proper business modeling for.
Excellent. Okay. Okay. The number of people who are saying they are interested. They want to know the discounts. I'm going to put a form up, a very small form, to just basically indicate your interest. I'm not sure the class will contain many people, so I'm trying to see if maybe just 20 people, for example, is what at least the first set will be. Let's see how that goes. I think this is an important thing for business at this time. And I think if you pick up the skill, if somebody is listening from here and the head of a company, and there are people in your organization that may be interested, just hit me up as well. We'll see how we can organize this. I want to sponsor somebody to attend this. I want to do this myself as well. I think it's interesting as something that can be done. And I think while all this was going on, I was asking a few questions in my own writing here to say, what are the things we need to apply to our business? What are the things that we need to do? And it's a lot to flesh out here. And I think the same thing should go for everybody as well. Somebody is saying we need a speaker on negotiation skills, achieving successful outcomes. Okay, no problem. We'll pull that in days to come. But I think that's I think we've overrun the runway. We are 21 minutes behind our 1 hour plan. I want to say big thank you, Ayo, for doing this today. I'm sure everybody has thoroughly enjoyed this. Like I said, I'll make a small link available. For those who are not in the green community yet, please be in the green community. That's where we are going to share all the links and all the values. I think there's a lot that I don't even pay attention to that is here. And I like some of the definitions. They are quite enlightening in realizing that these are the ways we need to begin to think in this time. So otherwise, some businesses will become history as well. I don't know if you have a parting shot, Ayo, today. Just a parting shot before we wind this down.
Yeah, so it's been a pleasure. I thank CM and the Green community, Green Monday community for having me. I'm always passionate, to discuss these things. I can talk about them for hours and hours. So I'm sorry that we overshot the time, but I think I hope it was good time for everyone. Thank you.
Thank you very much, AY. I think everybody's saying thank you as well. I hope you've learned a lot that you're going to put into practice. I hope this will impact your business, your career, whether in Green Monday or whether outside Green Monday, whatever venture you're doing. If you are interested in this, please ensure that you fill the form. It's not going to be for many people. Like you see, the bill is not something small, but guess what? After this, you can become a consultant. You can begin to advise people. You can begin to play around with different models. We are currently approaching the banks for some facility, for some expansion of our business. We need a model. We need to show clarity. If you want to make pitch decks, you need to show clarity. There are many ways in which you're going to need this thing. And of course, to beyond doing the plans and crafting the plans, in running the business as well, you need to be able to design in a way that you have access to understand and interpret data, complex data, be able to make things happen as you go. And I think there's a lot that we can do with that. So thank you very much, everybody, for coming. It's been a pleasure having us all here. I think it's been fun while it has lasted. I'm going to put on some music so that we can be hearing something as we gradually wind down today. Thank you, everybody, for making it and coming. Someone says very interesting indeed. Now, please do not forget, on Monday, we have financial paradigms you need to shift. So that's on Monday. On Wednesday, we have the group HR director of Flour Mills Group, who is going to be giving us a little hack into how employers of labor are thinking at this time and what you can do to develop yourself, grow yourself, and make yourself a valuable part of the equation for what's going to happen in Nigeria. On Tuesday, we're going to have a pharmacist and innovative expert and key leader in the herbal space teach us something interesting on Tuesday about why herbals. And we're looking at something very interesting to happen on Friday. We're looking at the possibility of a Thank God It's Friday comedy hour late in the night on Friday for those who want to laugh and have some fun. I think that's possibly the way we're going to close next week by God's grace. May God protect and preserve us till then and beyond. I'd like to thank everybody for coming out today. It's been our pleasure connecting with you. Thank you very much, AY. I'm sure we are going to have a class from this where we'll get to learn more and get to put some of the things in practice. Thank you very much for coming. I'm sure slides and those kind of things are for people who attend full courses. I think this is an introduction, and I think there's a lot more we can take from there. I'm going to play some music as we wind down today. And I think we'll start it from, the one I like to play very much, Happy. So take it from Happy, and then we'll see how far it goes. Sunshine, she's here, you can take a break. I'm a hot air balloon that could go to space. With the air, like I don't care, baby, by the way. Because I'm happy, clap along if you feel like a room without a roof. Because I'm happy, clap along if you feel like happiness is the truth. Because I'm happy. Can we have the slides? I don't know. I'm going to ask the facilitator. I don't know. Here come bad news, talking this and that. Yeah, well, give me all you got and don't hold it back. Yeah, well, I should probably warn you, I'll be just fine. Yeah, no offense to you, don't waste your time. Here's why. Because I'm happy, I'm alone. If you feel like a room without a roof. Because I'm happy, I'm alone. If you feel like happiness